Alright, so we get going here in a few minutes, guys. 8 o'clock. We had one brief little wiggle. USD JPY still hasn't. So what I was thinking about doing, like I said, was just basically showing a little bit of how to clean up MT4. For the news trading guys, it hopefully will help you with your slippage. And we'll also take a look at cleaning up your PC. Oh shit, that's hot. And I got coffee, so I'm happy. I think I burnt my hell out of my lip, though. Damn it. Let me get some water. MT4 Slow / PC. Okay, so some of this is going to be directed towards Renko and how to speed it up. Some of it's just going to be general MT4 speeding up. So if you don't have the news EA, some of this may or may not apply to you. But in general, it is a great way to, not a great way, it's just a way to clean up your okay, so it's a good way to help clean up your PC. So we're gonna start off with MT4 first. Now, if you do back testing, which I don't on MT4 because one, I don't believe in it. I just think it's useless. If you do back testing, you don't want to do any of this. But if you do back testing, that's fine. But if you do back testing, I would highly recommend having like a back testing MT4 and then a live MT4 that you trade from. But mixing the two, not a good thing. So let's start off with the first thing we want to do is go to Tools and then Options. And if I get ahead of anybody, just let me know. Oops, I probably shouldn't show my login. But anyway. God damn it, where's the bug? Well, this is my demo account that we're going to be using anyway, so I try not to show my live on video. I've had people copy URLs that I showed for 2 seconds and say, hey, I got into your stuff because you showed a URL on your videos. I mean, people are just kind of strange. Alright, so if you have questions about anything I'm doing, make sure you can talk in Slack. I'll turn Skype on just in case. And you can also talk in the YouTube room, which is preferable because then other people can see what you're saying and they don't think I'm crazy, that I'm talking to myself or some mystery person. Before we get going, the reason we're doing this is there is no more news for the day and markets are pretty much flat right now. If they pick up, then that's fine. We'll take a look at some trades. But right now they are just flat and funky. Okay. Blah. So I'm trying to think. We'll give it a few more minutes for everyone to get in. I know there was a few people that sent me a message saying they're going to be a few minutes. I had the feeling I had a scammer trying to hit me up. Okay, so let me close some crap on this end. So we're going to start with MT4. I think it's the easiest place to start, I hope. And let me close this and we'll start up from scratch again. Okay, so some of the things you can do with MT4 to speed it up, and now this is live. Now, one of the other things I need to say is if you're using an indicator that uses like monthly pivots, things like that, you don't want to drop down too far. If you're on the news trading course, yeah, let's just drop that bitch to the ground is what we're gonna do. We want to squeeze every little bit of speed we can out of MT4. Reason being, MT4 is a 32-bit program. And to be honest, it doesn't even install itself on your computer. This is really how old school MT4 is. You could literally put everything you have, you could take your MT4 directory, copy it to a USB stick, and just plug it into another computer, and it would run. It is such an old school program. But since it's MT4, we're going to take some steps to try and deal with it. So we want to go to Tools, and then Options first. The first tab we want to go to is Charts. So max bars in history. Now this is how much shit it keeps in history. Not on the chart, but in history. Right now I have it set for 10,000, what, really high. I would drop it to 20. If it would, let me see if it'll let us do 10,000. 10,000 is more the ideal because it'll let, just in case you use a monthly indicator, it'll let you run it. But honestly, I'm not too concerned about it. If you want to go hardcore and you're in the news program, do 5,000 and max bars on chart, 5,000. If you're in the news course, I definitely recommend doing that. 5,000, 5,000. And then we hit OK. What it just did is it should have... Now we're going to do this step by step, because now if MT4 did its job, what it would do is it'd go back and it would truncate the history right now. But, probably not going to do it. Now, this is going to dick up your wrinkle bars when you do this, guys. So, if you're running live right now, it is going to dick up your wrinkle bars, because we are going to delete the history as one of the steps, and then let it rebuild only using 5,000 and 5,000. Okay, so the second thing we want to do, let's go back into options. And let's see if there's anything else. Show objects, trade, automatic. Expert advisors, allow, notifications, email, FTP, events, and community. So we're good there. So the only thing you really need to worry about is chart. That's your number one step there. Chart, drop these down. Now again, dropping these down will give you the best performance because it's going to kill what MT4 has to hold in its memory and speed things up a little bit. The next thing we can do is we can go to File, Open Data Folder. Now this, like I mentioned, this is going to kill our wrinkle bars until MT4 gets to re-download the data. So don't flip out, and if you're planning on trading right at the moment, don't do this. But we're going to go into first logs. These logs, if MT4 is open, you just do Control A and it'll select all. If you don't want to do Control A, click on the first one, hold down Shift, click the second one, hit delete. It's going to say this one is in use. It's because it's the current log file. So let's skip. And there we go. This is today's log file. You can see it's 10/21/2016. Now, up next, now since we adjusted history, and I know this is the one that's going to do it, we're going to go into here. You want to go into whatever server you're connected to. Notice I said I was on the demo today. It's FXCM USD demo 02. So we're going to go into there. These are all the log files. And you can see, like, this is Euro USD. Look how big it is. It's 372,641. So let's do Control A. Remember, this is going to kill your charts for a little bit. Delete. It's going to say summer in, so we skip, 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 and skip. This will minimize the screw-ups. But there we go. These are the charts that are open, and it's using history on. See, Euro, GBP, USD, and UJ. That's what I got open. That's why I say it's... I don't know. It's good and bad to do it while it's open. Okay. Dat files, we can skip those. I don't want to get too complicated. I'm going to try and keep this simple. Okay, so the next thing we do is MQL4. Now, this is for the news trading guys only. And then we're going to go into files. If you're in the news course, guys, we want to clean these out. It's Friday. There's no more news for the week. Your spreadsheet's filled out. Let's go ahead and select all. You can either throw these in Dropbox if you want to reference them. Just make sure your spreadsheet's filled out. Delete. Now we're cleared out for the week. If you want, you can do it every day. So like how I set up for news is every night I set up. So I fill out my spreadsheet from the day, then I set up for the next day's news. Then you can delete those files out if you really want to squeeze out every little thing you can. Okay, the other thing that you can do, your indicators, go through and clean them out, guys. They really do bog it down, your indicators and experts. If you don't need the indicator or the expert, I know that it's fun to collect indicators, but clean them out. What'll happen is, and here I'll show you what happens. Okay, so here's a bunch of indicators, and let's just go in and modify one. I want you to focus on the left hand side here, and let's see how much, and I have a shit ton on this one. I don't trade news with this one. This is just my day-to-day trading MT4. So let's go, and I'm gonna hit first. Okay, so I'm going to hit compile, and down here it's going to say how long it took, but I want you to watch here. Once you hit compile, what it has to do is read through all the indicators you have. So Here's compile. Took 1,561. You see how this is reloading? So MT4 is always watching the indicators in there. Now, I know somebody's saying it's not always, but look, I'm trying to keep it simple for people. It's best to get rid of the freaking ones that you don't need. It'll help things run faster. That includes your EAs. After that, all you do is close MT4, reopen it, and it's going to be running as fast as it can by then. Now, if you're in the news trading course, what I highly, highly recommend is having a copy of MT4 just for news trading. It'll have nothing in it but the 2 EAs, your set files, things like that. Nothing else. I know Robin's made that change, but that's getting pretty hardcore for the news trading group. But it's actually not that bad, because then you can, when news is over, you just close MT4 and open up your other one. I definitely agree with doing it that way. And that's actually how I do run it. Like on my laptop, I just have MT4, the 2 EAs, and that is it. That's all I have running on it. The laptop itself, I also don't have anything extra running down here. We'll get into that here in a second. But that's it for MT4. So let's move along next to your computer. Now, I'm on Windows 10, so some of the things I'm going to be doing might be different for you. I'll try and recommend some programs that you can use. I'm not going to actually run through them all. Let's first talk about a site that you can go to simplify getting things. Okay, so the site is, I don't know how to say it, night, whatever. But it's NINITE.com. Now, what this will allow you to do is download several things at a time without having to actually do an install. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is antivirus. I was on someone's computer last week. They didn't even have an antivirus on there. You guys, you need one. I know I couldn't believe that the person said they didn't have one, and they were just careful on the websites they went to. But then I saw uTorrent on their computer too. That is computer suicide for you. You definitely need it. Now, the one that I recommend, and I don't have an affiliate, nothing bullshit. This is just to help you. If we look over here, Avast. The reason being is Avast uses the lowest amount of memory. And again, we're concerned about memory usage on a computer. It uses the lowest amount of memory of all of these. And a lot of these here aren't even antiviruses. Essentials is an antivirus, AVG is an antivirus, and Avast is an antivirus. If you're using like McAfee or Norton, and I hate to say it, dump them. The only paid antivirus I could recommend using is Kaspersky. That one is a badass, kick-ass. I run that on my laptop because that's where all my live things are, and I don't want shit going wrong there. This is just my demo. This is my demo computer, gaming computer. I run Avast because it is lighter. It is extremely light compared to any of these other ones. So I'll show you how to install things from this website here in a second, but you just put check marks in of what you want. If you need, and this goes, if you need a compression, if you're running WinRAR, get rid of it, use 7-zip. If you're using WinZip and it keeps popping up or trying to expire, use 7-zip. This is a free compression. It zips your files up nicely and lets you unpack files nicely. It's free, and it doesn't bug you with pop-ups like this one does saying register or buy. What else do we have in here? VLC. I'd highly recommend it if you're in the news course. Reason being is this will let you go frame by frame to review your trades if you recorded them. I'll put up something in the news trading room of what to use to record your screens, a free version of something, so that you can get that. And I highly recommend recording your trades because it lets you go literally frame by frame with VLC. Okay, so messaging, meh, we can skip that. If you need a browser, there's here, Chrome, Opera, and Firefox. You can also, if you already have them installed, and I will show you, for instance, I'm going to do Firefox. Keeping your browser up to date is a big one. It should automatically do it, but if you want to force an update, you can always do it this way. If you use Dropbox, Google Drive, this is how you can install the desktop version of it. So I highly recommend installing the desktop version of Dropbox. It makes it easy because you can just click here and there's my Dropbox right there. Yay, see? Makes it real easy. And then if I drag things into this folder, it syncs it with Dropbox. Other than that, I'm trying to think of anything else that... This is just general. You can update things here. Java, I would stay away from. Java is slowly getting phased out. It is evil. This is the majority of the way people are getting infected is through Java, and it's through the ransomware. It's a really nasty piece of shit. Okay, so I'm gonna do two. I'm just gonna do Firefox and let's see, Malwarebytes I have already, and we'll do Super Anti-Spyware. And if we want to go hardcore, we can do all three of these. Malwarebytes, Adware, Super Anti-Spyware. If you haven't cleaned up your computer in quite a while, I would definitely recommend doing it. I don't see the other two that we're going to need. Oh, here's Ace Logic. And the last one I'm looking for is CC Clinger, but I don't see it, so we'll just get it. Revo is for uninstalling. And I'll show you that. This is the best way to uninstall programs. Other than that, I can't think of anything else. This will be a little bit of a long video, but we're going to go through quite a few things. Yeah, other than that, I don't see anything else. So I've picked out, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. Now, Super Anti-Spyware, I highly recommend uninstalling it at the end. If you don't know what you're doing on any step, don't do it. Okay, so once you've marked what you need, click Get Your Night, however the hell you say it. It's going to pause for a second, and it's going to say Save, and it will download. Again, guys, if you're confused on any step of what I'm doing, don't do it. You can message me and ask me, and I help you, but this is your computer you're dicking with. So we open it, we just click Run. I'll go ahead and close this at this point, and I'm going to close this at the point. You hit Yes. And here's what it does. So I already have Firefox on my computer, so let's see what it tells me. It's downloading. I haven't opened Firefox in quite a bit. It says it's installing. Now Revo, it's downloading. Waiting to install. Now Ace Logics, I already have it. It says OK up to date. Malwarebytes, OK up to date. Super, we'll see, and Adware, C. Now I do this automated. I have a program from my company that I do this automated with, so. But I highly recommend doing it. Like on my Saturdays, I wake up in the morning and I start all this up. Okay, so Firefox was okay, Revo's okay, and it's right there. Up to date. Super is installing. And Adware, it wouldn't install, which is good. See what happens? It won't even do it if it's bad because it found Avast. So we're good there. So everything is fine. Let's start off with, now that we did this, one of the ones I do, whether you follow along with what I'm doing, you don't have to, but I do recommend getting Revo, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. Okay, see? Finished. It tells you exactly what happened on your computer so you know what happened. So let's take a look at Revo. I'm going to run it as administrator, so you right-click on it and do Run as Administrator. Now, I'll see if I can find something on my computer to... We're going to remove Bellark Advisor. See how it's on the uninstaller? Now, it has Hunter mode, which is good if you have something particularly nasty on your computer. But let's just do Bellark, and we're going to double-click it. Now this does take a little bit, so we'll see what else we can do while this is running, but I want to show you why this is a much better way than using the Windows uninstall. While it's doing that, let's click and CC Clinger. You see it right here? CC Clinger. Let's see if we can find it real quick on the internet. This is one that I highly recommending, CCCLEA and Clinger. This one is one of the ones that's it's something simple, but it can have one of the biggest performances and performance boosts on your computer that you'll see. CC Clinger, it's going to be the first one. You just type it in to Google, and it'll be the first one. Just click it, and it is free. Everything I'm going to show you today is going to be free. You just hit download. Now what it does, let me go to start. Again, this is one of the ones that's not on the website I just showed you. See how it's creating a system restore point? This is why I highly recommend doing it with Revo. Let's get back to CC Clinger. I'm not going to visit for the new one. There's only 2 steps you need to do with this. You hit, I'm just going to do analyze. Okay, so stop here. This is Belarc Advisor. Now the first thing Revo does is automatic customer repair. So we're just going to do automatic and next. It forces the uninstaller to run like you were using the Windows uninstaller. So it says it's ready to uninstall. We do finish. Now this is what would happen if you went to programs and features, hit uninstall. We want to make sure it's on moderate, not advanced. So now the normal Windows uninstall just happened. Step 2, we hit scan. So this is what happens every time you use a Windows uninstall. Now it's scanning. What's it scanning for? It's looking to see if there's anything left on your computer. This is how your computer, when you uninstall, install, gets screwed up, starts slowing down, things like that. So it's scanning. While it's doing that, let's go back to CC Clinger. I'm just going to do analyze. I'm not going to actually run the Clinger. This is going to take a little bit. This will look at Microsoft. It's going to look at Edge, which is the Windows 10 browser, Internet Explorer, which is the classic browser, Windows Explorer, which is your file system, then your system files. It also will look at Firefox and Chrome, Opera, whatever you have on your computer. You want to let it, typically what you do is you're going to hit run Clinger instead of analyze. I'm not going to do it. This, depending on how much crap you have on your computer, will take quite a bit of time, or you could do it real quick. But it's going to cling out everything. If you're watching through a browser, it's going to tell you, it's going to say, we need to close it. Go ahead and let it close your browser, because it's going to cling it out for you. I'm going to hit cancel there. See, already it found 944 files in Microsoft Edge. The second thing is registry. You just hit scan. No matter how much you're on top of this, this is always going to find crap. But it's good, and it does do a backup of your registry beforehand. I've never had an issue with this one crashing a computer. As we can see over here, it's still scanning. Depending on the program, it'll be either faster or slower. We're going to cancel it. All you would do then, well, I'll let this one finish so we can talk about some other things while it's doing. Now, what this one will do is it saves you the time of having to go in and go into Start, My Computer, right-click, Properties, Disk Cleanup. This is going to do it for you. So it's more of an automated way of doing the old-fashioned disk cleanup. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Stick with this one. Okay, so let's do Fix Selected Issues. Do you want to back up changes to the registry? We hit Yes. Remember where it saves it. This is going to Documents. You can see here's one. This is the new one, which I'll delete this one and save this one. And fix. So it found 268 little issues. And it is done. Close. That's it. So remember, you do Clinger and Registry. Those 2 things, most likely, you'll probably see the biggest performance boost right out of those 2. It is kind of amazing that it's just junk files piling up. So we can close that. Now let's go back to this. So if you're familiar with Belarc, it's just a small little program that tells you what's on your computer. We did the Windows uninstall, so if you would have gone to Programs, Files, Features, whatever, and done the remove, this is still sitting out on your computer after Windows does its install, so it's not doing a very good job. So we're going to do Select All and Delete. Are you sure you want to? Yes, because it's just leftover crap. Now it found this leftover, so Select All, Delete, and Yes. And that's how you do an actual cling uninstall. It's much better than using the Windows uninstall. And I know it takes a little bit longer, but if you do these things once a week, I guarantee the first time you do this, for some of you that I saw your computers are probably going to run 2 times faster than they are right now. I mean, I've seen some shit on y'all's computers that I haven't believed. It just amazed me. Okay, so that's Revo. Again, you just go through the list, remove what you need to. The next thing we're going to talk about is, and it's one that I was going to install, Acelogic's Disk Defrag. This will be your last step, so I am going a little bit out of order, but I wanted to show it. Yeah. I like this one because it has. Now, if you have not done this in a long time, I would do defrag and optimize. Now, defrag and optimize might take up to 4 to 5 hours, but I would highly recommend doing it. Otherwise, just do defrag. It's as simple as that, guys. Let it run. It'll take a bit. That's why I say this is your last step. Don't mess with your computer. It'll take care of itself and run it. It defrags your hard drive. That one's really simple. I'm not going to start it because it takes a while. Okay, so the next things you want to do, remember that was last step. So we've done what? CC Clinger. You ran through Revo. You cleaned out everything. The next thing you want to do is make sure your computer is virus free. And how do we do that? First, we can start up Avast, and you can run these together. Yeah. We're going to get rid of that. You just go to Scan. Shut up. Go to Smart Scan. Scan everything at once. And it will start. And we hit stop. Now, if you do scan everything at once, it is going to pop up with some advertisements. Again, it is a free program, so I don't get too worked up over it. If not, you can always go to Menu, Scan, and you can just do Scan for viruses. There might be something you'd want to see on that scan, Smart Scan. If it's your weekly habit now that you've gotten good, just do Scan for viruses, and you'll be good. The rest of this crap, you don't need to worry about. They're trying to get you to buy into their full paid one, but don't worry about it. Okay, so we run Avast. While Avast's running, you can also run, and we did install it, so Malwarebytes. This looks for malware. So you're doing a virus scan. This looks for malware. Malware is like shit that slows your computer down, puts advertisements up, things like that. Come on, open up, you little pecker. Well, while we're waiting for that one, there it is. So the first thing you want to do is database version. You're going to hit update. Once it's done updating, you're going to go ahead and go to scan. And we're going to go to threat scan. And you just hit start scan. Those are the steps it's going to do. If it finds anything, it'll tell you. We're going to go ahead and hit cancel now. Again, this is free. Don't have to worry about it. Next thing, and I know this is going a little bit overboard, but if you have not done this to your computer, I'd highly recommend doing all of these steps. We downloaded Super Anti-Spyware. This one picks up some things that Malwarebytes misses. Blah blah blah. Just hit close. We're not worried about it. You wanna, if it says it needs updated, you want to update it. And it's opening down here, as we can see. And you're just gonna hit scan this computer, complete scan, and there we go. So it's cancel scan. You'll let it run, and it'll give you the results. You clean up. Okay. Now, other than that, so once everything's done, you've done disk defrag, Super Anti-Spyware, Malwarebytes, CC Clinger, all that crap. That should have you running about as fast as you're going to get typically. But there's going to be, since some of these little programs are pesky, they're going to want to stay loading. So we can do a few things. We can hit Control-Alt-Delete. If you're on Windows 10, go to Task Manager. And we're going to go to Startup then. And if we look, this is what I have starting up. But you notice since I opened up CC Clinger, it's now wanting to do it. So we'll disable it. You can go to Status and put them in order. Dropbox, I don't want that on startup, so disable. The network time sync I want, Avast I want. That's my keyboard. That's my video driver, sound driver, and that is Slack. I'll disable that. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you see Super Anti-Spyware in this list, you want to go ahead and disable it. Otherwise, every time it turns on, it's going to boot up and it's going to say, hey, buy me. We don't want to hear that shit. So just go to Startup and turn it off. Now, if you're on Windows 7, Windows 8, you can just hold down the Windows key, press the letter R. So that's Windows key plus R. And you type in MSCONFIG. When you type that in, you'll get a little window, and you can go to Startup. Now, since I'm on Windows 10, it says I have to go to the Task Manager. But if you're on anything else, Startup will have everything in here that you just saw. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Other than that, you just let it run, be patient. Like I said, I get up on a Saturday morning before I head out, and I start all this crap up. I run it automated, so I don't have to dick around with all this, but I'm not going to get into how I do that. It'll empty your recycle bin and everything for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And that pretty much, guys, sums it up. The mess I've seen on some of y'all's computers, and I don't mean saying this rudely, but the mess I have seen on some of your computers, I would highly recommend y'all do this crap. I cannot believe some of the computers I have seen, literally. And mine's not the cleanest, but this is my play computer. My work computer, my laptop, is clean as can be. If you don't have the benefit of having two computers, then clean your computer up. Get religious about it. Do it on every Saturday. Other than that, any questions, let me know. I'll leave this one open for a minute or two. Then I'm going to take another 10-15 minute break. Let's see what the charts look like now. This is a 10 pip range, so it dropped 10 pips and it's flatlined again. USD, CHF. We have a 10 pip movement. GBP, I bet you're moving still. GBP is starting to move, so you might want to watch that one. Euro USD. It's still under 2. The candle speed is getting better, but the pip size is pretty horrid. Candle size is getting a little better. Candle speed is 1 to 5 minutes, and this candle here is on its 15-minute mark. So this candle's been sitting here at 15 minutes. You can see why. It's 15 minutes of just less than a 3 pip movement in one direction. I'm kind of stalling if there's any questions, if you wonder why I'm doing this. USD CHF, we've got slight, it's in like the meh range. And again, we're sitting at a 15-minute candle right here. The US bell did just ring, so hopefully we'll see some movement. I don't want to make this one too long, guys. If you do have questions about what I covered, let me know, please. Don't get going anything crazy. I do, like I said, if you're especially when you're in the news course, run through it this weekend and get it going. This will help with your slippage a little bit. If you're confused, let me know. Can't think of anything else. We'll stall for a minute. Oops, that was all caps. Sorry, I'm answering one question. Okay, so only one question, and so that'll wrap it up, guys. I'm gonna take a 10-15 minute break, and we'll see if the markets look any better. But so far, this is looking like a typical Friday shit day. But thanks for watching, guys. Again, if you have questions on what I showed in this video, please hit me up. Skype, Slack, email, whatever. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.